Okay, Miss Kendall, I'm going to sound nasally and I have a piece of gum in my mouth. So I'm probably going to smack along in here, but you will love it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to draw atoms. So the first one that we're going to draw is nitrogen. So get your periodic table and look at nitrogen. Okay, and the very first thing that you've got to do when you're drawing atoms is you've got to do pen, which are the protons, electrons, and neutrons. And if you remember, protons and electrons are always the same as, you're right, hopefully, the atomic number. So nitrogen, if you look at it, it has an atomic number of 7. So you have 7 protons, 7 electrons. Then neutrons, if you remember, are the bottom number, which is the atomic mass, rounded to the nearest whole number, which is 14, minus the atomic number, which gives you 14 minus 7, which is also, in this case, 7. Okay? That's the first thing you've got to do with every single one. Now, there's a couple of rules you need to know. First energy level, and I'm going to send these to you, can hold up to 2 electrons. The second, and I'm drawing this with a mouse, and so I know that you're like, well, Miss Johnson is multi-talented. And you're right. I absolutely am. I have 8 electrons. And then the third, oops, not so talented there, can hold up to 18, but you'll never get to 18 electrons. Okay, so those are my rules. Why? Because that's the rules that scientists say. Now, these electrons, these atoms don't necessarily look like this. This is just a model to let you know kind of where the level is, because electrons exist at different spaces away from the nucleus, and they're always in constant motion, but ours won't be. Okay, so the first thing we've got to do is draw the nucleus. And what lives inside the nucleus? Hopefully, said the protons, which are 7. So I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to mark that out, and you'll see why in a little bit. And then the neutrons live in there also, and that would be 7 as well. Okay? Now, if you look at the nitrogen atom, you can see on the periodic table that it's on horizontal row number 2. So on period number 2, which we added to our periodic table, that means it has 2 energy levels. So here is 1 energy level. Ooh, that should be a circle. And here is, yeah, you can see this is crazy. This is the 2nd energy level. And we're going to pretend these are really fantastic circles. These are where your electrons live. Okay, now every atom has a specific number of energy levels. If you look at the whole first row, which is hydrogen and helium, they all just have 1 energy level. The second row, which are lithium all the way over to neon, have 2. The third energy level, or the third row, would have 3 energy levels, which is sodium all the way to argon. We're not going to draw past the 3rd energy level because the rules get a little bit more involved, and it's not what you need to know for 8th grade or 9th grade physical science. Okay, so we have 7 electrons to place, okay, because that's how many I have here. And we know that the first energy level can hold 2. So here's 1, 2. Okay, and that's all this energy level can hold. Okay, the energy levels, you always work from inside out. So the first one closest to the nucleus can hold 2. I'm going to only hold 2, so I'm going to subtract that 2, and I have 5 left to go. Well, what are my second energy level? It can hold 8, so that 5 will fit in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there. Okay, then you can check yourself a couple of ways. First of all, this outside row is your outer energy level, EL. I'm not going to write that out because I don't have a pen. So that's your outermost energy level in this atom, okay? And so if you look at the column that nitrogen's in, it's in column 15, but it should have 5 valence electrons. And valence electrons are those things that are the outermost electrons. So they're the electrons that live on the outermost level. Okay, so it should have 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it does. Okay, all right, so let's look at another one. Dink, dink. Let's look at beryllium. So right now, you can press pause, and I want you to do pen for beryllium. Welcome back. If you press pause like I told you to. If not, bad girl. Okay, so beryllium, if you look at it, has 5 protons. Oops, I lied. 4 protons. Looking at boron. Okay, 4 protons, 4 electrons, and then 9 minus 4 gives you 5 neutrons. Okay? All right, so the first thing we do is our nucleus. Okay? And so what goes there? Yep. Our protons, which we have 4p, and your neutrons, which are 5n. Okay? All right, it's very important you mark these out because in this case you see that the protons and neutrons are completely different. And a lot of people mess up and accidentally put the number of neutrons where the electrons should go. It happens every time. Mark out your neutrons so you don't look at that number. So look at beryllium to see what row it's in, to see how many energy levels it should have. And it should have 2. So we're going to draw, oh Lord, my circles are getting worse and worse. 2 circles. Wow. Okay, and I have 4 electrons to place. So I'm going to put my 4 there so I keep up with it. How many can fit on the first? Well, we know from our rules that it is dose. Okay, so minus 2 gives me 2 remaining, and that will go here. And it fits because that one can hold 8. Okay, so if you look at beryllium on your periodic table, it's in the second column, which means that it can have 2 valence electrons, or that's how many it should have, and it does. So I did that right. You can also go back and check yourself by counting them. So 2, and then plus 2 gives you 4. Okay, so that's how you draw atoms. Okay, the other sheet that I'm giving you is a reverse atom sheet. And all you do with this reverse atom sheet is, I'm going to draw an atom really quickly. Let's say that I'm drawing this one. Messing me up. Okay, so I'm going to draw the nucleus a little bit bigger, and we're going to say that this one has right, and it has 1, 2, oop. If I could draw with a mouse, it would be fantastic. I know that on your day off being sick that you've missed hearing me. And so let's just extend this little experience. Okay, so then it's got 2 here and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is here. And then it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're going to get a drawn atom already, okay, on the reverse atom sheet. And you're going to have to figure out what is this, okay? And so we know on the reverse atom sheet, you're going to have the white ones are going to be, the white circles in the middle are going to be, I can't remember if it's protons or neutrons. It'll tell you on there. But you can either count those, or since these are neutral atoms, you can count the number of electrons you have. So if you do 15 electrons, which is how many you have, and it's the same thing as 15 protons, look on your periodic table and remember that protons and electrons are always the same as that atomic number. ATM. Oh. Ooh, this is really bad. Atomic hashtag. Okay, so it's the same as the atomic number. Your protons and electrons in a neutral atom are the same as your atomic number. So if you know that that's 15, then you can look and see which one has an atomic number of 15, which would be phosphorus. Okay, so that's what you're going to do on the reverse atom sheet. Okay, I'm going to put in on your elements the ones that you have to draw on your atom sheet. If you have questions, feel free to email me. All right, bye girl, feel better.